thinking I've almost, what is happening? My braids are stuck inside the, okay. I was like, what in the hell is happening here? It's almost Friday. We've almost survived another week of this hellscape. Give me 1 second to get live on Twitch and YouTube. Be right back. Tap the screen. Let's share the live. I've got a good, I mean, I don't know what I mean by good show today, but I think you'll like it. It's better than it. I was so depressed when I was watching that press conference right before I started the live yesterday. It really just made me not happy to be alive. So I feel much better today. I haven't drank coffee in 2 months, and I had 20 ounces of coffee, which I'm late because I had to pee 6 times in the last 30 minutes. So now I remembered why I stopped drinking coffee. But man, is hazelnut with sugar-free caramel syrup so good? I forgot how much I like a good cup of coffee. It's just when it's 110 degrees in Arizona, your motivation to drink coffee goes down exponentially, for sure. Hello, hello. Tap the screen, share the live. Oh, yes. Sorry. Gosh, TikTok Studio is getting smarter and smarter. So now, because I re-download TikTok Studio every day, and it does updates. So the latest update in TikTok Studio, if you're asking like, what the F is TikTok Studio? It is the software you use on PC, to run live streams. Like you can only use it on a PC, like I'm on a computer. And the TikTok engineers we call it the engineering roadmap if you work in the tech industry, and they are updating it fast. Now, like they have AI connected to TikTok Studio, and it just optimizes everything, which I'm like, oh man. Like, so it optimized like, all the settings for like color and contrast and brightness. And like, I always keep this what is the name of ring light in the background, which you can kind of see. It looks kind of purple, but it's because it's calming. Like it's a calming color that makes me feel more relaxed. And the AI now that optimizes your TikTok Studio, it's so smart that it's like you need to get rid of that pink purple light in the background. And I was like, God, AI is scary. It's like turn off the pink purple light and then like re-optimize, and it was like, God, AI knows more than I do about everything. But that's my calming light. I don't think it's great for like clarity. It's my calming light. Here's roadmap and Twitches and corporate trouble. I'm so sorry, Andy. I know. I hate bringing those. It take you back to like a conference room where like you're getting yelled at. I know. I could do a whole live, I could say triggering words from corporate America like, hey, why don't you punch that up in an email? I could literally for 5 hours just say things that would take you back to all your corporate America trauma. We used to have like in our, like Slack channel at work, circling back. Yeah, let's circle back on that one. Oh my God, now I'm having anxiety. No, don't start, you guys. It's not funny. What? I don't have to live like that anymore. Yeah, so much synergy. Oh my God, I don't have to live like that anymore. I refuse. I refuse. Yeah. I'm I'm like having a panic attack just thinking about it. God, that is the best thing. I mean, the internet is absolute chaos, but when you think about the person you had to pretend to be in corporate America, and I was like fully bought in. Like I joined a cult in the tech industry. I admit it. Like I was the annoying person. I remember people trying to tell me like, hey, you really shouldn't buy into this. Like this is just a job. But I was like, no, I love this place. We're all family. Like, I mean, I was the most annoying person there. For like 5 years. And then I was like, oh, I get it now. This is we're actually in a nightmare. I was that person that people were like, hey, like, you should really join this lawsuit. Like, we're being worked way too hard. I'm like, I love sleeping under my desk. I was that person. And eventually you realize, oh, it's not a family. No one cares about you. This is all just slave labor. Like, I was that person. People tried to be like, Felice, you're delusional. These people don't care about you. Yeah, I learned the hard way. That's why I had to disappear into South America, because my lesson about how much they don't care about you in corporate America was that traumatic. Anyways, God, let's never talk about this again. Let's never circle back on this. And hold on, now I need to get a big drink of water and then we're going to get this party started because I actually have a really interesting show today. So hot here. The humidity, like we used to have in Arizona something called monsoon season, and that would be, there would be moisture like that would fall from the skies. Now we have monsoon season, but there is no moisture. It is just unbelievable humidity during extreme high heat. And then the haboobs. If you're like, what the F is a haboob? It's like the name for these monstrous dust storms in huge deserts. Like Phoenix is in the Sonoran Desert. They call them haboobs in the Middle East. It's like walls of dust. I mean, like tidal waves of dust that move across like miles and miles and miles. And normally during monsoon season, it's the rain that stops the haboobs. But now that we no longer have any rain in Phoenix, soon will be like 7 million climate refugees. Get excited. And so now these walls of dust just move through the Sonoran Desert. It's actually, if you've never looked up a picture of a haboob, you should look them up. I love photographs of lightning and of dust storms. I don't like to be in the middle of a dust storm. It's super scary. You've never heard the word haboob? Oh yeah, it's real. This is a real weather term. You just have to live in a major desert to experience it. It's like HABOOB. Yeah. Oh, I didn't know you were in Salt Lake, Jer. I didn't know that. I left you. I spent several summers in Salt Lake training for volleyball because that's like the I played volleyball in Idaho, but like southeast Idaho. So I flew into Salt Lake all the time. A big fan. Well, I was gonna say big fan of Salt Lake. I don't know. I don't know about that. I'll say this. Right next to the Mormon temple in Salt Lake, there's a really great sushi place called the Happy Sumo. And there's like, well, I heard it's not there anymore, but they had a movie theater at that same mall that had love sacks. If you don't know what a love sack is, it's not a sex word. They're the best bean bag. Like you can get a love sack sofa. They're like $20,000. Is that how you spell haboob? Thank you. Someone's correcting. Yeah, HABUB. I should have looked that up before I just incorrectly spelled it. Oh no, a haboob, HABOOB. But in Arabic, yes, that's the Arabic spelling, which is actually more correct. We probably should spell it HABUB. That's probably much more accurate. Everyone should look up what a haboob is. And these move through Arizona now. And if you get stuck in one, it's like, let's say you're in your car, there's 0% visibility. Everyone just stops and like your air conditioner will like suck in dirt. It's like every orifice of your body is breathing in dirt. It's scary. Okay. But that's my ADHD. Actually, give me one second. I need to take my ADHD medication. I think I thought I took it because of the caffeine. I'm not saying I'm on no ADHD meds. Don't get worried. I just have to take them like 3 times. I'm supposed to take it 3 times a day. If I was on no ADHD meds, I wouldn't be on live because you guys would never come and listen to me again. Some of you have witnessed it. Okay. I was going to do this yesterday. I have so many things, like interesting things I never get to. So I was like, maybe I'll save it for Friday, but in my experience, I never get to it. So I'm going to show you now. So You've probably seen this if you hang out on Blue Sky or X. Like a lot of these clips have been viral, so I put them together as best I could. Mehdi Hassan was on Jubilee, and he was like, I don't know how to say this. He was like debating a group of child idiot fascists. I think that's the best way to describe this. Like literal idiot children who have been indoctrinated and red pilled, and like they're like, we hate democracy. Like I've never seen anything like this in my life. Don't worry, it's not that many clips. It's just like four. I just have like four. But I mean, quite literally, they gathered together children, fascist idiots, and then Mehdi Hassan debated them. I don't watch Jubilee personally. It's like a show, like, let's say for internet debaters, maybe it's like a podcast where people debate, but like, I don't know. It's not my scene. I don't think actual debate is going on the internet. If you ever, like, I did speech and debate in high school, and we are not debating on the internet. So I get often confused by what people refer to as speech and debate online. But this was the closest I've ever seen to debate. You know, it was like time. Well, basically, Mehdi Hassan just faced 20 idiot child fascists. And I was like, how did they find these people? And it was like they've never debated anyone. They are all red pilled. Yeah, like speech sparring. Yeah, like when people are like, oh, I debate online, I'm like, none of us debate. Please, can we please stop pretending like, oh, he did cook. But I mean, that's like saying, you know what I mean? Like Mehdi Hassan first of all, has an eidetic memory. Like that's what it's same like Gavin Newsom. Of the two people I've seen, like the amount of data in Mehdi Hassan's head is terrifying. His book, everyone should read Mehdi Hassan's book, but I want to show you guys because so again, this is a show, Jubilee. It's like a podcast. It's not usually in this format. They don't have like a circle of child fascists, like one brown person in the middle. This is not usually the format. So, like, if you're like, is this what happens every time? No, I don't know how this ended up happening. It seems pretty horrible. But yeah, Mehdi Hassan, I guess, was like, I want to debate 20 child fascists. And these people are idiots. So just get prepared to watch him run them over. And it was like, you know, like, it was like children throwing fascist tantrums. Is the best way I could describe it. Okay, and I did not, we're not going to watch the whole thing. I just have like 4 clips, but I just want to show people that this is like the red pill 18-year-old America. Think like if you're going to see people holding up red flags, and that's what's interesting. It's like 20 child fascists, but they're voting each other out of the debate at the same time. It's like they're recognizing they're all horrible at it, but they also hate Mehdi Hassan while it's going on. It's the most confusing thing I've ever witnessed in my life. And it gives me, this is what happens when you let kids go through pew pew drills and don't care about their well-being and tell them to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. When the average homeowner in America is like 43 now. This is the type of weird anger that you end up like expressing.
Explain I'm wrong.
I'm telling you how you're wrong. Because you're ignoring the fact that when immigrants come into an area, they spend money. They create jobs through their presence.
1/5 of their monthly income leaves the country.
That's a good thing also because you don't like US aid, foreign aid. So this is the point. They create jobs. I came into this country. So far, every one of my assumptions about you has been correct. But listen to me. I am an immigrant. I'm speaking from personal experience.
Get the hell out.
I don't even like... I should get the hell out.
Yes.
Why?
I don't want you here.
Why?
Because you come here and say all this bullshit about how Americans are lazy.
Why?
You push your left-wing politics.
I never said Americans are lazy.
I don't know why you say this.
I never said Americans are lazy.
Yes, you are. You're saying immigrants have to come into this country so they can do jobs that we don't want to do. That's exactly what you said.
When did I say it?
Oh, really?
When did I say it? We're on YouTube. Guys watching on YouTube, rewind to the time where I said immigrants are doing jobs we don't want to do. When did I say those words? Words that came out of my mouth.
Okay, so why do we have to bring in immigrants to the country if we have people who are going to do the jobs?
Pause. You've been voted out.
It's nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you.
You're going to have to go, bro.
Nice talking to you.
Yelled straight up, I don't want you here, then made up words he didn't say. Because I went and watched this whole episode because I was like, what the hell is going on? And it's true, like, and I think one kid says at the end, and I clipped the part where one kid says it, like, none of us, except for maybe a couple, are like, think because none of these people are debate, real speech and debate does not occur like this. But they, like, one of the kids admits, like, none of us like know how to debate or do this. And I was like, oh, thank God. Like, where did these people come from?
You're going to have to go, bro, is what he said as I left, to an American citizen. Good to know where you stand on immigration. It's not about immigration, is it? That's what it's not about.
Explain I'm wrong.
I'm telling you how you're wrong. Because
the truth, right? Like, this is an American citizen, and he's like, and he's not even the worst of the little fascists that he debates. Oh, this girl. Oh, here's another great one. This girl is a child of immigrants who is here by birth. You know what I mean? Like, your birthright citizenship could get revoked. Like, her parents are immigrants, and she hates immigrants. Because that's the real truth, isn't it? Like, these are white supremacists who are like, well, we're not talking about me, right? We're talking about brown people. Because otherwise, how could you take this position if your parents, in fact, immigrated here?
An immigrant and an American, and I employ many American citizens, both naturalized and the ones born here.
And
I employ Americans.
My parents came
Americans as defined by you.
My parents came as immigrants to become naturalized, so I'm not necessarily opposed to immigrants.
So you're the child of immigrants.
Correct. I'm a child of immigrants. I was born
But you don't
here.
accept that immigrants are Americans.
Not at this moment.
So your parents are not Americans.
Not at this moment.
So hold on, your parents are not Americans.
They're citizens. They became naturalized.
You just said you can't be citizens by being naturalized.
No, I was born here, and I'm not opposed to naturalization. I never said that I'm against naturalization.
Are you against naturalization?
No, I never said I was against naturalization.
You did. You began. Everyone was here. They can play it back on YouTube. You said Americans or immigrants. Are your parents Americans or immigrants?
No, my parents are United States citizens.
But they're immigrants, you said.
No, they came here as immigrants. However, but
so
I want to make the claim that we cannot
I came here as an immigrant. I'm an immigrant.
But at this point, when they came, the United States
people aren't happy with the way this is going for you.
The United States economy was not at.
It's better now. The American economy is better than it's been for many years.
Not from the
and I can say that as someone who doesn't like Donald Trump.
We're giving millions and billions of dollars to people of minorities as well as
the reason the economy is doing badly now is because Donald Trump's tariff policy. Nothing to do with migrants. In fact, the congressional.
They can't even start businesses.
I'm an immigrant. I started a business.
I understand because the SBA is giving people billions of loans.
I didn't take any loans. They're giving them billions. I didn't take any loans.
I'm not saying you did, but I'm saying that statistically speaking, they're giving billions of loans.
So should we do statistics? According to statistics, immigrants are 80% more likely to be entrepreneurs than native-born Americans. They're more likely to start businesses and hire Americans.
No, I'm aware of that.
Immigrants are more likely to pay in taxes than take out in benefits. They're more likely to add to innovation and jobs and wages. This is what the statistics show. The Congressional Budget Office. Let me just finish my point and let you come back in. The Congressional Budget Office, which is bipartisan, Republicans and Democrats both use it. They have said that the immigration surge that you mentioned will lead to an extra $9 trillion of GDP over the next 10 years. That amounts to $65,000 per American household. That's $65,000 for each and every one of you holding up a red flag.
Okay, I understand.
All right,
that,
pause. You've been voted out by the majority. Please return.
The fascists are voting each other out. So this is what is fascinating about this. It's like they know they're garbage and they're not making any points, but they're all fascists. And like this, can we just be clear? She's an anchor baby. Like, and I don't like that term. Like I talk about this all the time, like half of me, my dad's indigenous Mexican and half Black. And like most of my family that I grew up around in Phoenix is a huge indigenous Mexican family who a lot of them voted, to lose their birthright citizenship. Like, she's an anchor baby who's like, oh, but not me, not my parents, they're citizens. No, that's what you're not getting. That's what Trump is. That's the whole argument, is that people who've gained citizenships because they have a child who was born on U.S. soil are not citizens. That is the literal argument. And then the statistics, like how many times have you seen me make this argument? That's what's super idiotic and what I like about what Mehdi Hasan did, because what you don't understand when you say close the borders, what you're saying is, hey, let's no longer have the #1 gross domestic product. Let's no longer be successful. Let's no longer generate revenue. Like if you don't understand how much revenue is generated from immigration, it's a lot. It's the vast majority. We are in gross population decline. By 2040, the most able-bodied Americans will be in Africa. Every moderate, or what we would consider first world country, is in population decline. I think even China might, their birth rate is reducing quickly, right? I mean, if you don't understand the math, that the only answer to our population decline and the way we've had the number one gross domestic product is simply immigration. That's it. So you're saying, I don't understand math. I don't understand the economy. I don't understand how America works, period. I just heard some people online, saying it's better if this country's only white people. It is not. Yeah, someone said not really. China has over 2 billion in population. It has population decline, the rate at which the population is declining or births are declining has nothing to do with the number of people in a country, just to be clear. Right? It's the rate at which births are declining every year, which most of first world countries, Europe, especially what these people consider valuable people. Let's just be honest, right? Like countries that are predominantly European or America, right? That's what they're talking about, are all in gross population decline. So I'm sorry. This stuff is very triggering. I just thought I'd show you. I think I only have like 1 or 2 more clips. This guy, I think at one point, and I don't know if he says it on this clip, but at one point yelled out, "I'm a fascist" or something.
I don't, in a state that I was running, I wouldn't want to hurt you or anything like that. But quite frankly,
I don't debate fascists.
Okay. So do you concede then? I mean, why?
Do I concede you're a fascist who won't condemn the Nazis?
Yeah.
Yes, I concede that.
Okay, great.
People who can't condemn the Nazis, yes, I am.
Okay. Well, I condemn the evils that they did, but I don't really care about being... Yeah, sure. I don't care, about being called a Nazi is the whole thing.
I never called you a Nazi.
I care about doing the right thing. You called yourself a Nazi, a fascist, and a General Franco supporter. Well, yeah, I am a General Franco supporter. He was awesome. He was so super cool, quite frankly. Because the whole thing...
And you don't believe...
I don't... In a...
Sorry. Do that. Franco tortured human beings. So that's a very interesting stance to take.
Thing. I never called you a Nazi. You called yourself a Nazi, a fascist, and a General Franco supporter.
Well, yeah, I am a General Franco supporter. He was awesome. He was so super cool, quite frankly. Because the whole thing...
And you don't believe in democracy.
I don't believe in democracy.
What are you doing here at a televised debate? This is democracy. I want to debate and disagree.
Because it is the means to support an end. The reason we have free speech now is because we want to be openly talking about our opinions so we can get the state that we want. But it doesn't mean upholding free speech after we win. Again, I mentioned...
The only good thing about this fascist moment we're in is that you guys are so open about it.
The whole reason I mentioned... The whole reason I mentioned Carl Schmitt earlier, and you kind of blew past him, is the friend-enemy distinction. Even liberals, when they take power, they want to enact policies and they want to enact protections for their people and their ideas, and they're willing to punish their enemy. And so I'm the same way. I'm like, hey, if you're going to punish me, I'm going to get in power and I'm going to...
Hey, that's completely untrue, right? Like what your line of logic is completely faulty, right? Like what liberalism is about, what the left is about, is upholding equal rights for everyone. Right. And I say this all the time. Like, I support equal rights, even for this sad, lost little boy who has no idea what he's talking about. No, that's not what the left is about. Right. That's why authoritarianism, totalitarianism is a right wing ideology. It does not exist on the left. And if someone claiming to be on the left, I always give examples of this. Like, let's say the Chinese quote unquote Communist Party. Is Xi Jinping a communist? Absolutely not. Right? Like, no. Just because you call yourself a communist while practicing like totalitarianism or authoritarianism does not a communist make. The minute you become a dictator or an authoritarian, you move over to the right side of the ideological spectrum, period. Happy birthday, politically painful. Happy birthday in this crazy society. But, like, bless his heart for not understanding that, right? And he literally, I don't know if anyone caught what he said. He said, I support free speech now so that when we get a totalitarian dictator, we can end free speech. That's what he said. Cool, man.
Frankly, punish you when you try to leverage power against me. Just that simple. It is what it is.
All right. Pause. You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
It's a pleasure to meet you, sir.
I can't say the same, but thank you.
I don't, in a state that...
Can't say the same. So it's like, what the... And also, like, this is the thing. And I always say this, like, these red-pilled kids, because I've, Pickles, like when Pickles debates, because he was a gamer, I think a lot of them talk to Pickles, and some of them are brilliant, not these people. I'm not talking about these people here, but it's just very simple. If you are interested in speech and debate, and you can follow a line of logic, then keep doing research, and then you just have to move left. Like, that's the truth. None of this is logic. Nothing you guys are saying. You're yelling feelings about things that aren't necessarily factually or mathematically true. Those are your feelings. It's like children yelling feelings. If you have the ability to reason and follow a line of logic, then that's how you end up on the left.
If I don't care about it, why do you care about it so much?
How do you run a country without any kind of laws or due process? And by the way, you do care about it, because without the First Amendment, you wouldn't be sitting here.
Well, I agree with the First Amendment, and I think.
So do you agree with Donald Trump's crackdown on the First Amendment? He's imprisoning people for their speech. He's threatening free speech media organizations. He's threatening peaceable assembly. These are all rights under the First Amendment. Why aren't you bothered by that as a conservative who claims to love the First Amendment?
So I don't like the First Amendment. I like free speech.
Okay, so the First Amendment is what guarantees free speech. I'm from the UK, by the way.
Speech.
I'm from the UK, which is a democracy. We don't have the First Amendment. No, that's one of the things I do like about the Constitution. I wish the UK did have a First Amendment.
So people
I'm a
get
journalist.
arrested for praying outside abortion clinics and stuff like that, right?
So you're opposed to people being arrested for speech crimes, I assume.
Well, it depends what it is. If it's like the people...
so you're like one of the previous speakers. As long as there's someone who agrees with you, you don't mind the crackdown.
No, I support...
Either we consistently support...
Understand, so this child's line of logic collapsed, right? Like, what he said was, I support free speech that I approve of. So therefore, which is a very common right-wing thing. And no one's ever been arrested for praying outside an AB clinic, just to be clear. That's not what the FACE law is. Period. That's a lie. Do your own research on that, but that's absolutely not true. But you're saying, hey, I support free speech if I like to hear it. No, Gator, they haven't. And all the people Trump pardoned for the FACE Act, I've read the indictments. I read them all because I was curious. If you believe that people have been pardoned for standing outside an AB clinic and praying, you are incorrect, sir. And now I know Gator in the comments can't read and has no idea what he's talking about. But thank you for that.
I support free speech 100%.
Okay.
I don't think anyone...
So do you think Donald Trump is defying the Constitution by cracking down on the First Amendment?
So I think he's cracking down on free speech, like the deportation of Mahmoud Khalil, who was
just released from prison by a judge saying his First Amendment rights were violated.
And I agree with the judge, and I disagree with Trump deporting them. But I think that's more a matter of free speech and not the Constitution.
I think that's pedantry at this moment. I think you've conceded that he is cracking down on free speech, which is the First Amendment. So he is defying the Constitution. So it's a pleasure to be in agreement with you, sir.
All right, pause. You've been voted out by the majority. Please return.
I support my free speech, but when people say things that annoy me, I no longer support free speech. Like, that's like the hardest lesson to learn. Like, if I'm a supporter of the First Amendment, I have to support all free speech, even the speech I don't like. Now, if you don't understand the First Amendment, when it's directed at someone, right? Let's say hate speech. Even hate speech is protected under the First Amendment, but when it is directed at somebody, right? Then that's not right. Like, that is what it is, right? You can have horrific opinions and express them, but if you are directing those at someone, right, that's harassment. That's illegal. Like, that's the bottom line. But these children don't know. And I clipped the part where, like, Mehdi Hassan was talking about what just happened.
I thought it would be an interesting exercise in trying to understand what genuine far-right conservative folks think, and it was kind of disturbing to see that they think what I thought they think, and they were happy to say it out loud. I am disappointed that I had to sit across from people who believe in white genocide, who believe I'm not a citizen. Multiple people here said I should be deported. One of them was even the child of immigrants, which I found bizarre.
Obviously, we were way outclassed. Like, we're not professional debaters. I don't think anyone in this room was. Maybe one or two people. And clearly, Manny, he does this for a living, right? He's a journalist, so he's really good at what he does.
Mehdi Hassan was pretty good at, taking...
His name's not Manny is a really important part of the whole thing. That guy's like, Manny's does this professionally. Who the F is Manny?
Cheap shots, trying to derail people from their arguments, trying to pit me against some of the people that wouldn't like people of my color to be in the United States, which is irrelevant.
I think one person said as he walked off, "You'll be the first to go," which is ominous and racist.
I think that was disheartening and particularly discouraging, because it just felt like it was fitting into a stereotype that we're trying to fight against, which is we actually have arguments, we can provide good reason, and that rhetoric just pushes that far away.
I am, I guess, a far-right Republican, but as I learned today, not as far-right as I thought I was. Someone gets up and they're just like, yeah, I guess I just want to have autocracy forever and Christian nationalism, or just being like, yeah, I'm racist. And to me, that's very foreign of a concept.
While I didn't, disagree with most of the people in the circle, it did bother me at times, to see them say mean things. There's not really a reason to do that. But it also upset me when Mehdi said, I'm not willing to debate with those people.
Free speech doesn't mean you need to give credibility or oxygen or a platform to people who don't agree in human equality.
I hear Mehdi's point about not giving them a platform, but the thing is, if you stop giving them a platform, they don't just go away and change their mind. And then you tell the rest of society no one exists who thinks like that, and that's not true.
I do like to debate people, even people I disagree with. I try and avoid bad faith folks. I think some of the folks today were bad faith. I'm anti-conservative, right? I don't support conservative views on taxation. I don't support conservative views on immigration. But the people here today were way beyond conservatives. This is open authoritarianism. And this is what is being normalized and mainstreamed in our country by people in power, by the media, by people who don't know any better.
Ironically, understand, I just hope those children come from unbelievably wealthy families. I hope the 60% of wealth that is completely passed generation to generation and it will never be recirculated in the American economy. Every single one of those idiots is represented by that, because otherwise we have bigger problems. So you can't do math. You do not understand that due to transfers of wealth, you have no future in America. It was fascinating to watch, and a lot of the worst stuff, obviously, I didn't clip or put on here because I can't. But that's why he was talking about, there were people who were just yeah, I'm racist. I'm here, I'm racist. It was super strange. Okay, but I just thought that would be interesting. And again, if you want to look that up, just look up Mehdi Hassan Jubilee on YouTube or just the internet. It's gone viral everywhere, so you'll be able to find it. I have so many things. I've done a lot of interesting research today, and I promised myself we're going to get through it all. I'm feeling good. Can we all tap the screen? Also, the arrow in the bottom right-hand corner, please share the live, and push the copy link button if you don't have anyone to share it with. We should be at 100K. We're not even at 50K. So let's get to tapping the screen. Someone yesterday was like, why the F are you doing this with your fingers? And what does it mean? So I feel like more people are finding my live stream lately. So I do want to I'm just saying tap the screen because I used to be a historical researcher, also a second grade teacher. I also used to work in advertising in the tech industry I worked at a huge social media company pre-IPO to post-IPO. So I kind of use all those skills on the internet to educate ADHD adults. I always think if I was teaching a class again, how would I like to learn? My desk was mainly in the hallway because I was way too smart and couldn't stop talking. But that's what this is. This is political education / information for ADHD adults. That's what we're doing here. Yeah, Jacqueline of all trades, master of none is absolutely who I am. I know a little bit about a lot, not a lot about a little, right? Surgeons know a lot about a little. I know a little bit about way too many things. Yeah, so that's what we're doing here. If you're just joining, I saw someone say, like, how did I find you? Oh, God, someone said something and I wanted to comment on it. What was it? Someone said something and I was thinking, oh, I want to say something about that. Oh, yes. Thank God I remember. I'm sorry I don't remember who wrote the comment, but I was like, that's a brilliant observation. I don't even think that person realized how brilliant. They said Fox News, is basically like fluffs Trump, and then the Wall Street Journal attacks Trump, which if you're wondering why, or it was something to that effect. And it's like, they're both owned by the same billionaire, Rupert Murdoch. And if it's an interesting observation because I think it's very true, but why would that be? I think because, right, if you look at the MAGA base, who are they? They're young, uneducated white males by and large, and the women that are, being abused by them. Just kidding. But you know what I'm saying, because there's nothing in it for women. Like, I'm not going to get into intersectionality and make an argument for that, but I could, right? Because like any woman on the right is in a state of oppression. And that's I could make a mathematical argument. I'm not talking about my feelings, but we're not going to do that now. So why would Rupert Murdoch, think we were talking about this yesterday. He spent $786 million in a defamation suit because he has consistently made up lies for Trump. It's because MAGA can't read and doesn't read. So Fox News is where a lot of them are indoctrinated, the Wall Street Journal. And how many times have you heard me say this since Trump started his second term? I continue to be very interested in that dichotomy, that Fox News is peddling a bunch of lies.
Is more sophisticated now than
have I been working out? Dale, I'm always working out. I walk/run 10 miles a day. I'm a Division I athlete, Dale. Remember this time last year, Dale, where you screamed at me, eat a sandwich? Remember that? I was much skinnier last year at this time, and you started screaming at me that I was anorexic. So don't worry about it, Dale. Dale, don't start today. I'm serious. You're going to go in timeout. Don't start. This is your one warning before you go into the hallway for the whole class. Yeah, Dale, it's nice, though. Dale's my first and oldest troll, and if you're like, who the F is that? It's the guy who's has an orange D in his name. He changed his name to David when he started getting really mean on the internet, but his real name's Dale. At least it was 3 years ago when he started harassing me. And every day at the beginning of class, he shows up at the people's receipts to accuse people of things. Yesterday, he started screaming we were all anti-LGBTQIA. And then usually I mute him for the rest of the live stream. So, Dale, this is your chance to exhibit something called impulse control. You can do it today. Today could be the day. Today could be the day you stay all class long and learn something. I know, I do. I'll say this. For the people who've been stalking me for years, I do have a soft spot for Dale. I say that all the time. We've known each other for years. Is Dale my favorite stalker? Yes, 100%, hands down. That's why he gets a longer leash with idiocy. Dale is my favorite stalker. I admit it. And as long as we're teaching Dale impulse control, he's going to get it. Look at yesterday. He's like, we should get rid of Trump and have JD Vance, which is an idiot thing to say. That's like, let's hand the country to technocratic billionaires. But at least his brain's working. Longer leash, but still a leash. Dale was blocked for months. Dale's recently unblocked. Anyways, oh my God, I forgot my line of logic I was on. But anyways, yeah, that's what the People's Receipts is about. I suggest joining the Discord if you've never been here before. There is a link in my bio, whether you're watching on YouTube, Twitch, X, wherever. Join the Discord. That way, new information and everything, you'll be updated on it. Also, because I can't really stick to a time when I go live because I take care of my dad and I have a lot of things going on. So I usually go live between 11:30 and 12 Pacific time, 2:30 and 3 Eastern. If you subscribe, which, that's like following on YouTube, then you'll know, you'll get an alert. Or if you're in the Discord, whenever I start my live, it will give you an alert that I'm live. Ooh, who bought the subs? Thank you, SG Faith 1961 for the 5 giveaway subs. WSG Faith in the chat, especially if you just got a sub. The sub goal, we're trying to get to 420 today. You know why. You know why. So if you would like to sub, that's that yellow star in the bottom left-hand corner. And I have a lot of things to get through, and I promise we are going to get to Robert Reich today because he's been making some amazing content. I think it was Chris who was like, did you see South Park? Of course I did. Of course I saw the South Park stuff. I'm going to show you now. I'm probably going to get a copyright violation on YouTube for this and have to cut it all out. If you ever rewatch all of the People's Receipts episodes, this is episode 93, they repost to YouTube. If you're ever like, why isn't a clip in there? It's because I can't, like, Paramount and stuff, certain companies are very, very particular about copyright violations. So if you're ever like, hey, I wanted to see this one really funny part, it's only like under threat of lawsuit that I would cut them out. But yeah, I do want to show a couple of clips from South Park. And here's the fascinating thing. Comedy Central, owned by Paramount, right? Which is trying to negotiate. Well, at first it was rumored to be a merger. Now it's a sale to Skydance. And Trump has been, suing CBS and other corporations owned underneath the Paramount umbrella, and the billionaires and shareholders that own Paramount have been acquiescing to Trump at every turn. So it's very fascinating that the South Park guys, like, I can't remember, it's Trey Stone and whoever, best Broadway musical of all time, written by these guys. If you've never seen The Book of Mormon on Broadway, it's absolutely worth it. But they have I think the deal they signed is like 1.5 billion. Oh, actually, I think this asshole I hate wrote about it. Yeah. The episode comes as South Park has just reportedly agreed to a 5-year, 50-episode, $1.5 billion deal. That's Simpsons money, right? Like, that's that. These people are going to be rich forever. Deal with Paramount. So again, I think I have like 2 clips I'm going to show with some other stills from it because it was, man. But this is South Park. They never back off.
Mr. President, a lot of your supporters are starting to turn against you.
Hey, tell them to take a rest.
Sir, can you please talk to them? They're really riled up.
All right, give me that. Hey, relax, guy.
Yeah, hi, what do you think you're doing? Our children are being told that they have to sit with Jesus at lunchtime?
Listen, buddy, you just need to relax. All this protesting makes me look bad. Just take a rest.
Well, no, we're not going to give it a rest. All the people here in South Park want some goddamn answers.
All right, then I'm gonna sue your whole town. You got that? Stupid idiots. Think they can mess with me, huh? Hey, Satan.
I'm not in the mood right now. Another random bitch commented on my Instagram that you're on the Epstein list.
The Epstein list? Are we still talking about that?
Well, are you on the list or not? It's weird that whenever it comes up, you just tell everyone to relax.
I'm not telling everyone to relax. Relax, guy.
No, I need counseling. You remind me more and more of this other guy I used to date. Like, a lot. Like, you guys are exactly alike.
I love you.
Oh.
I mean, that's the thing about comedy. Like, the satirical, like, commentary on what's going on in America is, I think it's invaluable. I mean, that's reality. And I feel bad for Satan. Nobody deserves to have see Trump naked. Truly. And always. No one ever deserves to see Donald Trump naked. Like, ugh, can you imagine? Like, Satan does need counseling now. Keep tapping the screen. We are not even to 100K. Let's tap that screen. Use those fingers. Thank you so much for the gifts. If you would like to support me, this is my Cash App and Venmo, just like my name. Again, if you're not following me, you can follow me on TikTok, but also follow me on Twitch, YouTube, all across the internet, and you can find all that information in my link tree. Okay, wait. I like this even funnier. So I'm trying to remember. This is hilarious. Well, I'm not going to read this because actually I don't want to say it. You can just watch it.
Sir. Oh, okay. Absolutely. Yes, thank you, Mr. President. We'll be happy to pay that, sir. Yes, sir. I will relax and I'll take a rest. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, we settled.
Oh, we settled. Thank God.
I got the president down to $3.5 million.
$3.5 million. That's not so bad. That's really fair. I think that's fair.
We'll just have to cut some funding for our schools and hospitals and roads, and that should be that.
Yeah, well, that's not quite all. As part of the settlement, we also had to agree to doing pro-Trump messaging.
How are we supposed to do pro-Trump messaging?
Oh, come on, guys. We're South Park. We can do it.
Yeah. All right.
That's right. We just gotta work together.
Yeah.
Who walked through the desert for you? Who survived the wilderness and gave the ultimate sacrifice? When things heat up, who will deliver us from temptation? Donald J. Trump. No matter how hot it gets, he's not afraid to fight for America. With conviction, discipline, and trust in God, he survived the desert.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I endorse this message.
Trump. His penis is teeny tiny, but his love for us is large.
Sir. Oh, okay.
That's so, and understand like what is happening is Trump sued this town for expressing their opinions, right? Like what Trump does all the time, drags people into litigation, right? And that's what they're saying. And part of that litigation is they have to speak positively about them, which if you don't understand, like if you've ever heard me talk about, reading all the Stormy Daniels case files, that's what's in there basically, is the reason Trump was never convicted of grape is because, not Stormy Daniels, E. Jean Carroll, excuse me. Well, Stormy Daniels says the same thing. And she, not necessarily under oath in court, but in interviews. But E. Jean Carroll, that's why Trump wasn't found liable of grape versus SA, because she was facing the wall of the dressing room and she could not determine if it was a finger or not. This is under oath, under threat of perjury, if you're wondering what Trump was liable of SA. And in most states and under the traditional definition of grape, any sort of penetration, it doesn't matter what the object is grape, but under state New York law, there's still a differentiation. So that is why, because she's like, I have no way of knowing because it was so small. So if you're ever, this is in the court documents. She's just like, yeah, I don't know. So that's why they're saying this, because that's what came out of the E. Jean Carroll case was she's just I don't